happened the night of January the 7th, 1969, about 9:35 p.m. There was a fire reported in a house that stood on what's now a vacant lot here. I arrived, and this house, 3.5-story freestanding house, was fully engulfed in flames. I was a young reporter at the time. I'd only been with the newspaper as a writer for about 3 months. And I realized that the first thing I had to find out was who lived in this house and what happened to them. I found out that just about everyone got out of this house except for 4 children who were sleeping in an attic apartment that was right where I'm pointing, up there. It was on this side, it was on the street side of the house, and the flames were fully around that part of the building. I don't know why they let me in the house, but they did. They knew I was a reporter. I apologized for intruding, and I was introduced to the mother, whose name was Elizabeth Barnes. I was just trying to get the names of her children, the ones they were looking for across the street. We didn't know what happened to them. And she looked at me and just told me, one after the other, the 4 names and their ages. Calvin Barnes, age 8. Denise Barnes, age 6. Lamont Barnes, he was 3. And his little brother Dwayne, who was 2. And just after I had said thank you, somebody rushed into the front door saying, "They found the children!" And she jumped up out of the chair. She went running out through the living room and out the front door, across the porch and across the street. And I followed, and I was standing on that porch across the street watching as she saw the first of 4 children being carried out dead from the house, covered with smoking rubber sheets, and she screamed. There was another child, the story said. Her name was Angela, and she wasn't home that day, and she may be still alive somewhere. But you know, there's not a lot on the record anywhere to say that these people existed or that they suffered a tragedy. And maybe that's what journalists do in some way, is they record that people were here and something happened to them. Sometimes things are good. In this case, it was just horribly tragic. And every time somebody dies in a fire, particularly when it's a child, I think about that mother, and I can still hear her screaming.